Yo, morning.
Got an interesting one for you. I know you love Bugattis.
Is it fully chrome?
Yeah, basically it's a Mansouri.
Let's ask him. Look at that, What's missing?
A gearbox.
So, are you going to put that together, Mark?
The world of hypercars is a realm of extreme speed, extreme wealth, and extreme rarity. Owning a Bugatti is not just about driving, it's about joining an exclusive circle where every part and repair is tightly controlled. Bugatti vehicles are engineering masterpieces, designed to deliver unrivaled performance, but this precision comes at a price. When something goes wrong, fixing it often requires following strict manufacturer rules, and the knowledge about repairs is mostly kept in-house. This setup, known in business terms as information asymmetry, means that the factory knows how to fix the car, but most owners do not. For most buyers, this isn't a problem, they accept the cost of privilege. But for some, when a hypercar stops working or sits unused due to damage, the restrictions imposed by the factory can make ownership frustrating and costly. This is the story of how Mat Armstrong, a self-taught automotive expert, became a solution for a rare Bugatti that faced near-impossible repairs. In early 2026, wealthy collector Mark McCann purchased a Bugatti Veyron Mansouri Vincent Edition, a car so rare and customized that it existed nowhere else in the world. It had been fitted with over €300,000 in bespoke upgrades, including a fully exposed carbon fiber body, polished metal accents, and a wild interior designed for Middle Eastern royalty. Its value, when fully functional, was estimated at over €1.6 million. However, this extraordinary car had a major problem. Its gearbox was completely broken, leaving it immobile and without reverse. The official Bugatti repair quote for a new gearbox was £300,000, more than the cost of many luxury homes. For most people, this would have been an impossible financial decision. But Mark chose a different path. He turned to Mat Armstrong, a man with no factory certification but with remarkable experience in independent hypercar repairs. Mat Armstrong had built a reputation as one of the most capable independent hypercar specialists in the world. Over the years, he had successfully tackled projects that even official manufacturers refused to touch. One of his most notable achievements was rebuilding a crash-damaged Bugatti Chiron Per Sport in Miami, a car that Bugatti itself refused to repair due to liability and safety concerns. Armstrong's work is known for being meticulous and transparent. Every step of every repair is documented and shared, making him a trusted figure among collectors and enthusiasts online. By calling Armstrong instead of Bugatti, Mark McCann took a calculated risk based on expertise that existed outside the official ecosystem. This decision also highlighted a shift in the world of hypercars. Owners no longer had to rely solely on manufacturers. Independent specialists could deliver high-quality repairs at lower costs, challenging the long-held notion that hypercars must be controlled entirely by their creators. For Mark, choosing Armstrong reduced the financial burden while maintaining the car's performance, value, and safety. Whereas the factory quote for a gearbox alone would have been £300,000, Armstrong had access to independent rebuild options that could achieve the same technical quality for around half the price. In Germany, specialists like Fernsun have rebuilt Veyron gearboxes for roughly £150,000, demonstrating that expert independent repairs can rival factory standards without the extreme costs. This shift not only affected the economics of ownership but also challenged the philosophy behind hypercar control. Traditionally, hypercar ownership implied dependence on the manufacturer. Every part, every repair, and every upgrade was monitored and controlled. Buyers were expected to accept that knowledge and expertise were limited to the factory, and the high costs reflected not only the difficulty of repairs but also the exclusivity of access. Armstrong's approach introduced a new possibility: independence through skill, collaboration, and transparency. He demonstrated that even the most complex cars could be repaired safely outside official channels. This is more than a financial issue, it is a philosophical one. By building a network of specialists skilled in aluminum welding, carbon fiber restoration, fabrication, and other critical areas, Armstrong created a global ecosystem capable of servicing hypercars at factory-level quality. Each successful rebuild reduces fear, demystifies complexity, and proves that alternatives exist. For collectors, this independence represents both freedom and empowerment. They are no longer locked into a single manufacturer for every repair or maintenance task. In the case of the Mansouri Veyron, Armstrong's network made it possible to restore a nearly impossible car, demonstrating that high-performance hypercars could be maintained without sacrificing safety or engineering integrity. This network also facilitates knowledge sharing, allowing other owners and specialists to learn from documented rebuilds, creating a system where expertise is decentralized and accessible. The financial impact of this independent model is significant. Hypercars like Bugatti are known not only for their speed but also for the costs of maintenance and repairs. Factory service prices are extremely high because they combine the difficulty of the work with strict control over parts and knowledge. Independent specialists like Armstrong, however, can source parts, rebuild gearboxes, and repair components at a fraction of the official cost. This drastically changes the economics of ownership. For example, Mark McCann's Mansory Veyron required repairs that, through official channels, could have pushed his total investment to over £1.4 million for a car worth roughly £1.6 million. By working with Armstrong, the repairs became financially viable without compromising quality. This demonstrates that independence is not reckless or inferior, it is a smart, calculated approach. Owners gain choice, transparency, and flexibility, which was previously unavailable under the factory-controlled model. The rise of such independent repair networks has profound implications for the hypercar market, as it empowers owners and challenges the monopoly of manufacturers. Armstrong's reputation was built through dedication, knowledge, and meticulous documentation. He does not encourage shortcuts or risky improvisation. Instead, he carefully analyzes every problem, outlines alternative solutions, and weighs potential risks. For the Mansory Veyron gearbox, Armstrong assessed different repair options, sourced parts, and organized a team of skilled specialists to restore functionality at a fraction of the factory cost. Every step was transparent and explained, providing both practical guidance for Mark McCann and a learning opportunity for other enthusiasts. This approach bridges the gap between technical expertise and community trust. As a result, Armstrong has become a central figure. Beyond finances, Armstrong's work represents a cultural shift in hypercar ownership. For decades, companies like Bugatti relied on secrecy and strict control to maintain brand mystique and authority. Owners were expected to comply with factory procedures and pay premium prices for repairs and maintenance. Armstrong's independent network challenges this model by documenting repairs, sharing knowledge publicly, and demonstrating that expert solutions exist outside the official channels. Each successful rebuild becomes a learning resource for others, gradually reducing the information asymmetry that manufacturers have historically relied on. Over time, this shift has the potential to reshape the hypercar landscape, fostering transparency, collaboration, and autonomy. Ownership is no longer about blind compliance with corporate rules. It is about knowledge, informed decision-making, and empowerment. Collectors can now access a global network of expertise, source alternative parts, and make smart decisions that preserve the performance and value of their cars. The story of Mark McCann's Mansory Veyron exemplifies the potential of this independent approach. What began as a single rebuild evolved into a broader movement in which enthusiasts, specialists, and collectors challenge the traditional model of hypercar ownership. Armstrong serves as a coordinator, connecting professionals who possess rare and precise skills. Aluminum welders perform structural repairs to factory standards, carbon fiber experts restore body panels, and fabricators reproduce parts that are unavailable or prohibitively expensive. Together, this network provides a decentralized, transparent system for maintaining the world's most exclusive cars. For the Mansory Veyron, this meant that even components that Bugatti would not supply could be sourced and repaired, making a seemingly impossible project achievable. The practical, financial, and philosophical implications of this approach extend far beyond a single car. Independence is now achievable, sustainable, and highly effective. Mat Armstrong's work also emphasizes education and transparency. By documenting rebuilds and sharing processes publicly, he provides a roadmap for collectors who previously believed that complex hypercars could only be maintained through factory support. This visibility breaks down the barrier between corporate knowledge and independent expertise. Owners gain insight into alternative repair methods, part sourcing strategies, and high-level problem solving. Each repaired car demonstrates that engineering excellence does not require exclusive factory oversight. Over time, this model could influence not just Bugatti but the broader hypercar industry. Manufacturers are watching closely, as the concept of distributed expertise and independent repair could shift market expectations and empower owners to take control of their investments. The financial, technical, and cultural impact of Armstrong's work cannot be understated. He has demonstrated that independent hypercar repair can be safe, effective, and financially smart. By challenging the traditional factory-controlled model, Armstrong gives owners choices previously thought impossible. His transparent, documented approach inspires confidence, builds trust, and creates a global community dedicated to maintaining and restoring the most exclusive cars. The Mansory Veyron rebuild is a case study in how skill, collaboration, and innovation can rival corporate authority. Collectors now see that independence does not mean compromise. It means empowerment, efficiency, and access to world-class expertise. Armstrong's work represents a turning point, proving that high-performance hypercars can exist outside factory control while maintaining value, safety, and prestige. Finally, the story of Mat Armstrong and the Mansory Veyron is more than a technical achievement. It is a story about control, independence, and the future of hypercar ownership. Bugatti has historically relied on tightly controlled service ecosystems, premium pricing, and limited access to preserve its brand. Armstrong's independent network introduces a new paradigm where expertise, transparency, and collaboration allow owners to reclaim authority over their vehicles. Ownership no longer means compliance with corporate authority but participation in a global community of skilled professionals. This shift demonstrates that hypercar ownership can be both autonomous and safe. The rise of independent specialists like Armstrong shows that the future belongs not only to manufacturers but to knowledgeable, resourceful owners who are willing to challenge old models. In this new era, the knowledge, skill, and collaboration of independent experts are just as valuable as the prestige of the car brand itself. The world of hypercars is a universe of extremes: extreme speed, extreme wealth, and extreme rarity. Owning a hypercar like a Bugatti is not just about driving. It is about entering an exclusive club where every part, every repair, and every upgrade is tightly controlled. Bugatti vehicles are engineering masterpieces, designed to push the limits of performance, but this precision comes at a cost. When something goes wrong, fixing it often requires strict adherence to factory rules, and most owners are dependent on the manufacturer's knowledge to keep their cars in perfect condition. This setup, known as information asymmetry, means that the factory holds most of the technical knowledge, leaving owners in a position of dependency. For most buyers, this arrangement is acceptable. They pay for the privilege of owning one of the rarest cars in the world. However, when a hypercar stops functioning or sits idle due to damage, the constraints imposed by the manufacturer can make ownership frustrating, expensive, and even impossible in some cases. This story focuses on how one rare Bugatti ended up in the hands of Mat Armstrong, a self-taught automotive specialist who challenged the traditional model of hypercar control. In early 2026, wealthy collector Mark McCann made headlines by purchasing a Bugatti Veyron Mansory Vincent Edition. This car is one of the rarest and most heavily customized Veyrons ever produced. Designed for Middle Eastern royalty, it featured over €300,000 in bespoke upgrades on top of the already expensive base car. Its fully exposed carbon fiber bodywork, polished metal arches, and vibrant, one-of-a-kind interior made it a truly unique machine. When fully operational, the car was valued at around €1.6 million. Yet despite its exclusivity and beauty, the car had a serious problem. Its gearbox was completely broken, rendering it immobile and without reverse. To repair it through official Bugatti channels would have cost £300,000 for a single component, more than the price of many luxury homes. For most collectors, this would have been a financial and logistical nightmare. But Mark McCann made a bold decision. He reached out to Mat Armstrong, a man with no official factory certification but a remarkable track record in independent hypercar repair. Mat Armstrong had gained visibility and respect as one of the most capable independent specialists in the hypercar world. Unlike factory technicians, Armstrong worked outside official channels, taking on projects that manufacturers often refused to touch. His most famous achievement before the Mansory Veyron rebuild was the complete restoration of a crash-damaged Bugatti Chiron Per Sport in Miami, a car Bugatti itself would not repair due to liability and safety concerns. Armstrong's approach is meticulous, methodical, and transparent. He documents every repair step, shares detailed guides and photos, and openly explains sourcing strategies. For collectors, his work represents not just technical skill but also